Welcome to the 5% Club podcast, the space where ambitious leaders go to master their careers and their lives. I'm ShaylaMKing, a former C-suite executive turned performance and happiness coach. And this is the podcast for leaders who want it all. The promotions, the paychecks, and luxurious amounts of time for what matters most. Each week, I'll teach you how to work less, make more, and design a life you love. Let's go. Hi, friends. Welcome back to the 5% Club. I'm ShaylaMKing, your favorite executive coach. And today, I am answering all of your questions about the Performance and Happiness Lab. So if you've ever thought about working with me, this is where it starts. The first thing that you do is you join one of our cohorts in the Performance and Happiness Lab. It's designed for corporate leaders who want to get promoted and love their whole damn life. So most programs are going to zero in on executive presence or a specific skill set to increase your performance or how to get hired. This is different. It is the absolute best experience if you are in middle management in corporate and you want to rise to the top, but you already feel like, you're pulling from both ends, you're burning the candle at both ends, that there's nothing else to give. If that's how you feel, like, I know I want more, I know there's more inside of me, but I'm already stretched so thin, how could I possibly add more? That's who I designed this for. And here's why you can trust me to lead it. I've been there myself. So I was a mom stuck in middle management. I was a single mom for 9 years while I had a global business leader role, 4 autoimmune diseases, and trying to figure out how to raise 2 daughters in a city where I knew no one. So I know what pressure feels like. I know what overwhelm and exhaustion feels like because I've lived it. And I created this performance and happiness formula out of a personal need because I had a doctor look at me in the eye and say, Shayla, if you do not change, you will die. But I knew that I did not want to give up on my ambitions and my dreams because I wanted to show my 2 little girls that you can have an extraordinary career and be a phenomenal parent. And so out of that personal necessity, I scoured everything I could get my hands on to find out why some people were more successful than others, why some people were happier than others, and why some people were healthier and had more energy than others. Out of that came the performance and happiness formula. And to my surprise and delight, it actually worked. I started working less and less and getting promoted and making more and more while having luxurious amounts of time with my kids. I ended up making it to the C-suite before I was 40 and I lost 30 pounds. I got remarried and found love. And I got this beautiful balance in my life where I got to have fun with friends, have lots of time with my children, but be getting an insane amount of impactful work done and having a reputation for being the one that people can count on, that always does what she says she's going to do, that of course we want her in the room. Of course she's an executive. Of course she belongs on the team. And that's what I want from you. And so in my career, I led training and development. I hired and trained thousands of leaders. So I saw up close why some people made it and some stalled out. I know exactly what makes you successful, and that's what I teach you inside of the lab. It's not just a singular course on executive presence. It's not a course on scheduling and work-life balance. It is the most comprehensive and simplest system you could ever get as an executive. And it was made for you by a C-suite mom executive herself. So today, I'm going to tell you all about the program and I'm going to answer a lot of the frequently asked questions that I receive so that you can know if this is the perfect place for you. Because I'm telling you, if you have that itch inside of you that says, I think I'm built for more, but you're also wondering how on earth you can do it because you're stretched so thin, this is the program for you. I work mostly with powerhouse women and a few good men. And this program is designed to give you exactly what you need in executive results, executive relationships, because it doesn't matter how good you are if they don't know who you are, executive rituals. They're also not going to promote you if you look too tired and overwhelmed for your current role. and the mindset that you need to pull it all together. Because the most successful and happiest people know how to manage their mind, and you are going to master it inside of the Performance and Happiness Lab. Okay? So let's talk about where you might be right now. Maybe right now your life looks like this. You're rushing from meeting to meeting. I called it like walking in the room like Kramer style. I'm here. I made it. You're answering emails on the sidelines of a soccer game, and you're falling into bed at night exhausted, forgetting your skincare routine. Your brain's still buzzing about to-dos at work. You're successful on paper, but you feel reactive, stretched thin, and honestly tired of feeling like you're barely holding it together. That's the before. When you graduate from the lab, you're living as the cool, calm executive. You start your mornings with intention, not chaos. You walk into rooms with quiet confidence that makes people sit up and take notice. They start saying, of course she should be in the room. Of course she should be the next one that we promote. You make decisions quickly without second guessing yourself. And you are decisive and cut out so much of the chaos and the things that don't get you paid, that don't get you promoted, and don't make you happy. And you're able to clearly see what those things are, so the decision-making becomes easy because you're no longer worried about what people think you should do. Instead, you trust yourself. You know the answers. And at home, you're present. Your kids and your partner feel the difference. You're unapologetic about your worth, how you spend your time. You're resilient in setbacks and magnetic in your presence. You're not just running your career, you're loving your whole damn life. So here's what makes it different. Books, courses, podcasts, they're all great, but they leave you alone to figure it out. And when you hit the inevitable questions, yeah, but how do I apply this to my team? Or what do I do when it blows up in real life? Or what about in my environment, in my culture, with my leader? Things are different where I'm at, and I don't get any help with that nuance. I don't get to go try these tools out and come back to somebody and say, here's what worked, here's what didn't. How should I do this differently next time? This is different. In the lab, you have me by your side as you ingest the information, as you test it, and as you apply it. You get coached through the resistance that normally makes people quit. And you have space to ask the messy, real questions that only show up while you're implementing. And that's how the transformation happens. You don't just learn, you internalize, you embody, and you become. Eventually, it's just who you are and what you do. And now let's talk about the power of community. There's the cohort. For 13 weeks, you're not doing this in isolation. You're surrounded by peers. These are leaders who know the pressure of senior leadership, who get the balancing act of home and career, and who also want more. This community is powerful. You're going to celebrate wins together. If you've ever felt like people in your life just don't get it, these people do. You get to celebrate your wins. You get to get real feedback. Have you ever been in a situation where? And you get to open up doors for each other. This is that network you've been waiting for. Other leaders across industries, across companies that want you to win. You'll be building relationships with people who have the same goal and that same standard to be in the 5%. And when you're surrounded by leaders playing at that level, your identity rises to meet it. You've all heard the saying, you're the sum of the 5 people that you're closest to. Imagine overnight up-leveling who those people are. Overnight, having your peer group be at a completely different level. That's how you up-level. You got to get in those rooms with the peers that are ready for not only being an executive, but being a 5% executive. That means you're high performing and you're happy. All right. So let me rattle off real quick answers to some of the top questions that I get. And you can go to ShaylaKing.com/PHLab and it will give you a ton of information about the program. You'll get to see every single module for every week that we will cover. And I'm telling you, if I cut out any of the extra. We are getting right to the core of the exact skill sets and mindsets necessary to be a high-performing and happy executive. So you're going to see the list of the 12 modules that we cover inside of the lab. And there's each month, we're going to cover one in results, one in relationships, one in rituals, and one in mindset. These are the essentials for being a high-performing, happy executive. No fluff, just exactly what you need. I'm giving you the playbook, and you get to implement and ask how. So every week when we meet, I'm going to teach you one of the modules, and then you get to raise your hand for hot seat coaching and say, so when I apply this X, or I'm running into Y, or how does this apply to me? How else can I use that? I'm struggling right now with this. You get that feedback loop. You get to ask your questions. You get to hear and learn from your peers' questions. And this is what's so much different than just taking an offline course that you go through somebody's modules and you don't get to talk to them. You don't get to say, yeah, but how about for me at my company? Here you do. You get that support as you implement. Okay? And I have intentionally built in time to your schedule where on Tuesday, you're having a live training call with me. I'm teaching you that week's subject and you get to raise your hand for coaching. That's Tuesday. Now, because I have done this for 20 years and I know exactly what works and doesn't work with leadership development, I've built in a special second part of the week. On Fridays, you're going to have a Future Friday implementation call with your peers. The first 30 minutes of it is your personal work time. Because I know you're a busy executive, and so it's going to be hard to implement these things if every week you're just trying to find time and being optimistic that you'll find it. Instead, we're building this time into your schedule. It's 30 minutes every week for you to take that material from that week, and I give you a very specific, short, practical exercise that will affect your real work life, your real home life, and you're going to spend that first 30 minutes implementing, actually taking steps forward on the subject so that it's not just another training class that you went to and you felt inspired by, and then nothing happened with the material. Okay? So that is your Future Fridays. The first 30 minutes you're implementing on your own. You're actually going through the Evolve work for the week. The second 30 minutes is your peer networking time. This is where you practice showing up as the executive. This is where you practice building your network and learning about other people and where they're from and what they do and building that skill set of networking. It's also where you get to try out some of your Evolve work. It's where you get to get feedback and say, I'm running into this with my boss. Have you ever ran into this? And you're surrounded by other people at that level that can give you great advice and experience. These are the same people that can open doors for you if you say, hey, I'm ready for something new. Do you know anyone in this industry or at this company? And I'm telling you, the people that I work with, the people in my community are the type of people that love helping others. And you're one of them too. So you're going to give and get value from your peer network. That's every Friday, 30 minutes of alone time to work on your homework, 30 minutes of networking time. Practice showing up as the strategic executive, build your network, be vulnerable, ask questions, get support from your peers. All right. So that is the schedule. And that's what you'll learn in there is my exact performance and happiness formula, everything you need to be a high performing and happy executive. The next question is this only for executives? No. So if you're in mid or senior leadership roles and you want to move up without burning out, you belong here. So I have some of my clients will already be executives and they want to be more strategic as an executive, or they want more to enjoy their home life more. They want to work on discernment and these executive skill sets. So some will be already executives that want to level up. And some people will be people who want to become an executive and try to do it the right way instead of the hard way. And so they want to learn those skill sets as they're rising so they can be the next obvious choice. And so you will see both in the room and you are welcome. What I ask is that you are ready for this conversation to be focused on what it takes to be a strategic and happy executive. And if you're ready for that, you are welcome in the room. All right. What if I don't have the time? This is especially for you. If you feel like you don't have the time, you need to be in this room. The lab is going to teach you to get your time back, not add more to your plate. We're going to immediately learn how to have some breathing room so that you can have time to develop yourself, so you can have time to create the network and relationships that you need, so that you can have the FU money, FU skill sets, and FU network that you need to bulletproof your career. I'll teach you how to get that time back. By adding this program, you are not adding hours. You are actually getting them back. It will provide you with relief. It's easy, it's fun, and I took out all the fluff so you just get exactly what you need. So that's the best part. You're going to get time back by investing in this. What about the cost? It's a 5-figure experience, but if you are funding it yourself, if you're investing in yourself, which most of my clients do, you're going to get it for $5,000. So some even get corporate reimbursement, and I provide a certificate if your company offers reimbursement for certificate programs. And I'm telling you, I've never had a client not make back that in increasing their base, getting a bonus, getting a new role. And everyone says that they outmatch their financial return with their happiness return at an even higher level. And you can listen to my clients that have been on the podcast talking about this as well. And if you go to ShaylaKing.com/PHLab, on the page, you'll just see testimonial after testimonial after testimonial. Everyone gets what they come for. And so although $5,000 may seem like a lot up front, it is going to return itself over and over and over again for the rest of your career. What does the schedule look like? So every Tuesday, we are going to meet from 12 to 1 p.m. That's that live call that I'm coaching. So I will take you through that week's subjects, and you will get a chance to raise your hand for hot seat coaching. Every Friday, you're going to have that opportunity to have your implementation call where you implement the homework and you have a chance for networking. And that is Friday, 2 to 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. In between that, you will have a module that is online that you can watch at your own leisure, and our calls are recorded. So they will be in the portal every week. So if you have a meeting that you can't reschedule during our time, no problem at all. I designed this program for you. I designed it for busy executives. So you will have the recording available on the portal so that you can watch and catch up at your leisure. Also, there are going to be moments and modules in this program where just by watching the one module, just by asking your one question will be worth your investment. So do not feel like if you can't meet and make every single call, you're not going to get your return. You absolutely are, by being intentional about how you use your time in the program. There's lots of ways to be successful doing that. All right. If you have more questions, I want them. I'm happy to answer anything that you have, and I want you to send them in right away so that when we launch on September 25th, that you are ready to purchase and have all of your questions answered before it sells out. The final date is October 5th, but I have a guess that we're going to sell out well before then. So shoot me an email, Shayla@evolve-career. DM me on LinkedIn. That's my primary platform, and follow me along there if you don't already, and I'll answer any question that you have around the lab. Now let's end by talking a little bit about who you will be after the Performance and Happiness Lab. Here's the truth. It isn't about better habits. It's about becoming a version of yourself that you may not even realize is possible yet. After the lab, you'll feel lighter. Like you finally set down the 200-pound backpack that you've been carrying for years. Sunday nights, you won't have the dread in the pit of your stomach, those Sunday scaries. You're going to walk into meetings with quiet confidence, not a voice in your head second-guessing every word. Decisions that used to eat up days of mental energy will feel clear and quick. The hard conversations are easier. The endless to-do lists are organized and under control. And the guilt about not doing enough at home or at work, it's gone. You'll notice your power most in the moments that used to unravel you. You'll notice that you've increased your capacity to think like a 5%er that can take on more with less stress and overwhelm. And when someone challenges you in the conference room or the boardroom, you'll hold your ground with ease. When your kid melts down after a long day, You'll respond with calm instead of snapping. You're going to have that capacity back in your life to hold on to your peace. It's beautiful. And it's something that 5%ers get. We just react to life differently. Less suffering, less stress, less chaos. And the best part, you'll finally feel proud of how you're living, not just what you're achieving. You'll be the executive who has both the title, the pay, and the joy. You'll feel unstoppable, magnetic, and in control at work and at home. All right, doors open September 25th and close October 5th. Fall cohort is the only one that you'll get in the rest of 2025. It's going to set you up for success in all of 2026. So if you want 2026 to look different, this is the time. Again, you can DM me and I will save a spot for you if you do that before September 25th, or DM me with any questions that you have. I'm happy to answer them. If you're on the fence, get your questions answered before enrollment opens, because here's the truth. You don't just want to make more money. You want more energy, more joy, more presence, more life. And that's exactly what is waiting for you inside the Performance and Happiness Lab. Make more, stress less, and love your whole damn life. Thanks for joining me in the 5% Club today. If you're ready to work less, make more, and design a life you love, go to ShaylaMKing.com to join the 5% Club waitlist. Each Monday, I'll send you something you can implement immediately, and you'll be the first to know when applications open for the Performance and Happiness Lab, my group training program designed to accelerate you into a happy, confident executive who loves their whole life. See you there.